What's up, associates, and welcome back to the Anime Association. On today's episode, we will be talking about 2B Hero X Episode 4, and I am your host, Kyle Tim times 10. And today, I have three of the members with me. We have Forbes, Shin the Hero, and Anime Addict. But before we get to that, go on ahead and click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date. Not only is it free, but it helps us update you. So, today's episode was an emotional roller coaster to say the least. But before we get to that, the episode starts off with Nice or Linling trying to run, but then he gets paralyzed by the people not wanting him to go, by the will of the people, which I started to find interesting. They held him back, and then we got the Blankster that appeared. Before we get into that, though, I want to know how y'all felt about the fact that not only does it give them strength, but it can paralyze them just by them not wanting the hero to do something. So I'll start with Forbes with that.
Well, it really opened up a new view on the power scaling, honestly, and it really showed the power of the people. I kind of felt like it was just another way just to bring other characters too, which I kind of like though. We ain't always got to see Knights on the screen all the time. I think that was a good setup for it though.
Okay. Shin, how'd you feel about the entrance of the introduction to the episode with that?
It like Forge was saying, it really does change a lot at how you look at the show in general now, because it's basically for the people by the people for the most part. And like the way they were saying, his fans were saying like don't go, and they even were out there, you saw them out there in front of where he lived and everything. It just paralyzed them like that. I was like, oh, so like this trust system thing is even deeper. It goes even way deeper than what these few episodes had shown us. Like if your fans, and if it's enough of them too, if your fans don't want you to do something, you really can't do it. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that shocked me seeing that. And I know we've been having questions about the power system and everything. Do you think that kind of cleared everything up, Addict?
Yeah, I thought it was actually really cool, and like I honestly did not. I feel like we all didn't know like how it worked that way because we knew that they were given the powers that way, but not that they could like be stopped in their tracks that way. And it kind of go went to show like with Ling Ling how he basically gave up the powers of nice, and then through the people he started gaining powers again as himself. So like the strength of the belief from the people is super strong in the show.
Yeah, the will of the people kind of control everything that's going on in the show, and I think they're supposed to kind of be an extension of us about whether or not we want the hero to go on ahead and do what needs to do, or we don't really know what needs to happen. But after that, we end up seeing them sending another hero in called the Blankster, and he's an ex boxer that can knock the memory out of people. You know how hard you got to punch somebody to just knock the memory out of them? That's an insane power. But we also see that the God Eye can see weaknesses, and through that he exposes the fact that the Blankster used to be a boxer but was caught cheating, which I found interesting that even though he's a hero now, that the fact that he was a cheater in a previous career really started to affect all that stuff, because you wouldn't think, okay, he's saving people now. Why should that matter? So, Shin, how did you feel about the way the God Eye set everything up?
Well, God, I did call him. Oh, they sent them the cleaner. So I don't know if he was actually a hero, but like he did have some natural like following and everything like that. Because yeah, powers. Like I was like, man, this man hit you so hard, he make you forget.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dang.
Seriously.
And then the way how I guess the cheating allegation thing was true, and I guess they swept that out under the rug. And when he brought it to light, I feel like this show, like stuff like this, is kind of, I don't know what the word would be for, shallow. I don't know, because like for something like that happened so far away, and for him to tear that guy down as easily as he did, and then just bring up like, yeah, this dude used to be a cheater, and then all the people just, we don't even know how long that was ago, how long he's actually been doing his hero work, or if he's actually a really good hero. And this trust thing, like, it, I mean, it shows how fast that how fast you can gain it and then how fast you can lose it. Like, it did
Yeah.
show that, but like, it just doesn't make sense where, like, my man, he presumably he's been like a hero for years,
Yeah.
and he's been doing this for years. With this one bad publicity, nobody cares about him, and then he just lost all of that. Like, nobody believes in him anymore, or all of that. Like,
Yeah, as he
I
was
it
saving Moon, they just lost all hope because of a previous
yeah, and I
situation. Well, allegation, let's say that, an allegation. And
Mhm.
the fact that they just lost it goes back to the original question. The will of the people controls everything. It was just crazy that we saw it go down the way that it went down. Like, why should it matter so far removed from it? Addict or Forbes, the how did y'all feel about this particular section?
Basically, the power that God I had, it reminded me of Yawak from Bleach with the Almighty, how he can like see in the future, and it was kind of a thing where with this he can see in the past and he can see people's whatever they've done wrong in the past, and then he uses that by showing the people through the eye what he saw, and that was why the trust from the people devalued what was his name, Blankster, was that his name?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Devalued Blankster's power, and then he lost that fight.
yeah. The value devaluing thing. Yeah, I totally agree with both you and Shin. And now we get to the meat of the whole episode, which is building up the motivation, the anticipation of the fight, and it starts off with Lin Ling seeing the ad that he created
Yeah.
from the first episode. It all looped back around, and he starts fighting against the will of the people and starts moving. And as he's doing this, he starts shedding the persona that was forced upon him. So he's going from nice back to Lindling, and we see that through him losing the clothes, his hair turning back black, his eyes turning back to color. And at this point in time, Nice's death and all the lies have been starting to be exposed through everything. And then we get a flashback to Firm Man saying, "Whoever you are, just be yourself." And this was really the peak of the episode to me, where you started to feel that heightened sense of emotion going on, and you start feeling more attached. Forbes, how did this section make you feel, and how do you feel about how it was built up?
Man, in all honesty, like he basically had built a bigger connection, showing like just a regular person. And they repeated it twice though. He was like, "I'm just a regular person. I'm just a regular person." He's basically building that connection with the people, and to basically show like how fast that connection just made him stronger. Like I was hyped, and I think he has like a better understanding of it because he did the promos and stuff, and now like he's seeing like how they actually operate and what he has to do to manipulate crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like him more.
Yeah, nah, the music, the way it was all set up, it all played perfectly into it. Attic, how did you feel about this big chunk?
Yeah, so I agree with Forbes. Um, our boy was getting beat up. Like
Yeah.
at the end of it, like his face was swollen. He was like unrecognizable. Like he runs over to what we found out was a fake moon, which I was surprised by that because then they basically, well, I guess it
I
was a,
wasn't. I wasn't. You could tell the whole time because she never, the camera never went to her
Yeah.
whenever he showed up. She never said anything, and she had the same expression the entire
Mhm.
time. I was like, that ain't Moon. There's no way he found that girl Moon. They're like, that ain't Moon. There's no way. There's no way. No shot. But
That
go on,
left my
continue.
jaw drop.
yeah.
That left my jaw
Continue.
drop when I
Oh,
seen
come
it.
on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of cool how, like the octopus thing that basically gave him the powers. I
Yeah.
think he utilizes those little robots or whatever they are to basically shapeshift and look like different people and different creatures. So I think that was a really cool moment.
Shin, I know you just put in how you felt about the whole moon situation. You got anything else you want to add about this section?
Hey man, this is your climax of the everyday man finally becoming a hero. This is basically it's like to a T. You've seen it in comics, you've seen it in movies. Everyday man gets power and does what he needs to do, and the people they represent for him now. Like you saw those girls. There was like he was the one who was crying when Moon had died during that
Yeah.
he's the one, and then when he showed up, like he basically told him. My biggest gripe though is with God Eye, and I was like, what was his beef with with freaking Nice in the first place?
I don't know.
Why was he so adamant about trying to unveil this quote unquote truth about Nice? What does he gain
You know
in
what?
doing this?
I
That was the big thing.
Like,
I was like
I think
really
at first it was about exposing the fake relationship. I forget exactly why he was trying to expose the fake relationship, but then he lost everything. And then he was like, okay, now I'm going to expose the fraudulent system that's set up type of ordeal. I think he wanted to expose the relationship just to get bigger ratings because he was a hero himself, I believe.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think when he lost the trust value from that episode, he just lost whatever powers he had because he had a name before. I can't remember what it was.
And with you saying that too, um, so we've already established that trust is the way you get power. However, God Eye got power a whole different way. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think that it is through trust. Like, so this hand octopus dude is giving out powers and stuff like that. So like there's clearly a different way to gain
yeah,
powers. I also still think the power system is like how we had talked about it last week is something to do with that
yeah,
bracelet thing.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if you don't have the brace, it don't matter how many people believe in you, you ain't gonna have no power. I think you need this bracelet thing, whatever it is, because they always show it and they was focusing it really big on this
Yeah.
episode.
It's a lot.
And so like I really feel like you need that in order to become to get the power or whatever. Like
Well, while we're talking about the bracelet and the power, like you said, they would focus on it, and we saw it go from like high 20,000s and then go all the way down. And then when it came back, I know beforehand he had strength for his power, but it seemed like it was kind of an augmented version of that power now that he's
yeah.
himself. I don't know if it's just like it was like a rage boost or something like that. Uh, but I really liked how that sequence was going on, and like you said, it was the common man, and I like how they didn't give him no flashy name. They were just like he's the commoner, and that's really exactly what he was. Do you think? Now this is for any of y'all. Do you think his power is actually different now than what it was when he was nice?
I think it is gonna be different. Probably. I don't know how it's gonna be different. I feel like it's gonna be like a variation of some of Nice's power, but I feel like he's gonna be his own representation though.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of how I was feeling like it was just a different power altogether. Now, might as well just rip the band-aid off. Is Moon dead? That's the big thing after we got there.
Yeah, I think she's gone.
I sat in silence for about 10 minutes after this scene because I didn't know how to process it at all. Addict, I need to know how you felt seeing this scene play out after we just had this high of emotions of success just for it to all be stripped away from us.
Yeah, I was in complete shock. My jaw hit the floor. Like my eyes were wide open. I was panning back and forth to my camera. But it was absolutely crazy. And like I noticed the way that she was on the ground, like the way that she looked was the exact same as episode one.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of thinking that the whole theory that people had the past like 2 or 3 weeks that Nice or Ling Ling had like a premonition type of thing where he could see the future and see Moon's death already. that it was a thing where that was what it was, and now she's actually dead.
Yeah,
Didn't they bring it up again
that's
though?
kind of how I was feeling. You said what, Forbes?
Didn't they bring it up again though? Like in like episode 3, I think. Like he was like, I keep on having these premonitions.
Uh,
Yeah, I think it was like the past, like since the end of episode 1, people were like theorizing that he had a premonition.
yeah. Shin, how did you feel about this?
I mean, I did not call that. No, I did not call that at all. No, I was like, oh snap, they're gonna be a happy couple for real now. And then she got shot.
Uh
The only thing that's weird, and I will say this, I am in the camp that I don't think she's dead. I don't
Yeah.
think this is like an actual death. I think he's having another premonition type thing.
bro,
The
this is like
only
you guys,
the,
bro.
the only reason why I say that is when she gets shot, she's got shot from the side.
Mm-hmm.
And when she falls down in the same exact position. The blood and everything is the same exact position from episode 1. When Ling looks and we see the guy who pulled the trigger, he is behind her.
Yeah.
So like, and he is looking straight too. Lin is looking straight.
Yeah.
So in my head, I mean, after the whole shock thing happened, and I rewind real quick. I rewind, looked at it, and I was like, I don't think she's dead. I think this might be another one of those. Because this is like the second time they hit us with another like
Yeah.
cliffhanger type thing. I don't think she dead, but I could be wrong. But I don't think she dead. It might be another one of those premonition type things. There's just,
yeah.
I feel like her character is too important for Ling's growth for them to kill her this soon. Does
Yeah.
she have red flags? Yeah, she got red flags for days, but I don't think she needs to die this soon.
Yeah, I think it was way. I'm in the same camp that I don't think she's dead and it's some other type of premonition vision thing because, like you were saying, his whole character is tied up in protecting her. That's pretty much what we saw this episode. He just wants to protect her, and for us to have that type of confession, that type of emotional peak and everything, for it to be stripped away like that, I don't think that's what it is. I think this is going to be something that the series might pull off a third time. Just because that kind of keep us on the edge of our seat with it, and I hope they don't do it too much. But Forbes, how did you feel about this scene?
Like I was saying, bro, it felt like when Toji shot old girl on JJK. Like it was a happy scene. Next thing you know, I'm like, bro, Toji was throwing hands the whole episode. And then just out of nowhere, just pulls a gun out, shoot the girl, clean her head. Like it shocked me, like in all honesty. But now that Shin points it out, like I'm like, hold up, bro. She did like get shot from the side, and he's behind her now. I'm like, okay, like, yeah. I think it's probably fake though.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was thinking at the end, and I'm really hoping it is fake, honestly, because I want to see
Yeah.
Moon back in the picture, and I kind of, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Linling. I can't even call him nice anymore.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the commoner now at this point in time. But just for a quick round, Forbes, what do you think is going to happen in the next few episodes? Any predictions? Any theories?
So with this ending, it's like two things gonna happen. It was a fake, like Shin said, or she really is dead, and we about to get a villain arc very fast. Like I think he gonna be a little dark because you can already tell by his character, like he doesn't care what the company says anymore. Like he his own man now. Like he just exposed everything. Like Nice is dead. I'm not him. I'm Ling Ling. I really feel like he's gonna have a dark side to him if she is dead.
Yeah, I could see the possibility of that. That maybe his hair represents that, since he has the one strand of light on the head of dark hair. What about you, Shin? Any predictions?
So I have two things. There's one, going back to the episode. I was trying to listen to it because you can hear it in episode 3, I want to say. Or it's either episode 3 or episode 2. It was during the fight with nicest boyfriend. I'm assuming his
Yeah,
friend,
exactly what I thought.
but you can hear it. Like you guys know when the animation changes
Bro,
Mhm.
what was you
to
talking
the
about?
2D, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can hear it in this episode because, like, I don't know if it's my TV, it's the sound or whatever. But normally, I know I heard it during that fight. You can hear snaps,
You know who?
and those snaps are from what's his name, Mr. X.
Yeah.
And that's like his power. That's when he's
Yeah.
doing whenever he snaps, that's his power. And like he can, I don't know if he is distorting reality or he's a reality bender or whatever, but every time he snapped, that's when the animation changed. But like when the boxer guy was fighting God Eye, I was trying to hear it, and it happened so fast. I fast forwarded. I rewind it like 3 times trying to hear, but I couldn't hear the snap or anything like that. But that's one of those things. He's also a very, very, very important character. Like
Yeah.
it's one of my things is the opening, the anime opening. He's very prominent in the opening.
I wonder, is there anything else that sticks out in the opening? Because we were talking about this before we started recording, and I think the snaps might actually, like this whole thing that you're talking about, might actually
It's
play
them doing
into
that.
it. Did
Yeah,
was it?
the only other thing I can like super recall is like you remember when Ling Ling beat God Eye,
Yeah.
and you start seeing those couple of people like that dude who's on the ball. He was like, I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then the guy, I guess it was him.
Yeah.
I guess it was their
They
the guy
all-
of the company, but like we only saw his back, so I was like, I don't know. You look like Claw from Inspector Gadget, man. You could be him. I don't, but they were showing people there was, and they was like, oh wow, we got to keep an eye on this guy and everything like that. So I think that will play in the next episode.
Yeah.
I think the whole if she dead or not thing will go be resolved early, and then we move on to the next thing, because like I think X is the secondary main character, and he hasn't been, you only really saw him at the end of the first episode, I believe, and we haven't seen him since, but like he's been a big force throughout all the episodes because of the anime changes and everything like that, and we haven't really seen the guy yet. So like
yeah.
I feel like whenever we see him, more stuff will evolve. I don't know if we're gonna see him in episode 5. Normally, episode 5 for anime is like a big episode and everything like that. So we might be getting more story stuff. We might not. I don't know.
I'm not too sure if we're going to get him specifically, but I think we will start seeing more heroes coming in,
I at
and
least think we'll see the top, the at least the
the
top
bottom
9.
half. I think
Yeah.
we'll start seeing the bottom half from 6, 7, 8, and 9. I think that's what we'll start seeing. But they do kind of resolve stuff kind of linear in this series. Attic, what about you? Do you have any predictions and theories?
Yeah, that was actually my prediction for next week's episode, that we're going to start to see other heroes instead of Nice, or Ling Ling in this case. The theory of what Shin was saying with the snapping, changing the animation, I really hope that we get to see a lot more of that, because I feel like based off the trailers and everything, I've been the most excited to see X, and so I really want to see more of him and like the reason why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, same here. Now, the part that I was talking about in the intro, Shin, was the fact that they're playing Russian roulette and gambling. And I have a feeling that the CEO of the company that Linling is with is, I think the main villain has something to do with all the CEOs. Like it's a plant to try and get more money in, or they're gambling on who's going to become the new Mr. X or something like that. And I believe or Mr. X is in on the gambling as well, because he seems to be invested. If him snapping his fingers and changing it to the 2D comic book style, he seems to be very invested in what's going on without us knowing, like breaking the fourth wall. I think that says a lot to it. Uh, but I think we'll wrap it up from here. Let us know down below what y'all think about it. If you think we were on to something with our theories, the power system, and if anything that we missed. But until next time, I was your host, Kyle Tim.